Hello there, this is Marxist, and this is a demo review of Czar, who will be a scout on the blue team. I don't really know which style of scout he'll be, but we'll give it a go. This is from Esea Open. If you want your own demo reviewed or casted, I can do it public or private. Just send them to the email that's in the description. You can also provide incentives if you want to there as well. So let's go find Czar. There we are. So I assume this is a lower open player, judging by the content, but you know, it's good to see new people coming in trying to get better. So I made the channel. So we're looking at that soldier. Those are good people to fight. It would be better if you could have been healed at some point. That's not really your fault. You were low enough to the ground. Here we go. So you're getting your buff. You need to go in now. Ideally, you would go in with people. So shoot the same dudes as that scout. You get the med. This is fine. That's good too. Alright, get healed. Block this guy. Oh. Yeah, you two scouts needed to be more aggressive on that guy when he started to approach you. It didn't matter if you died. But losing your med's kind of a tragedy. Hearing him sticky like that with your approach was pretty risky. Alright, so this isn't worth dying over because your team is not coming. But, oh, you know that guy is hurt. Yeah, he was real low, but you can't get it, so you back out. It's better not to die, so you erred on the side of caution. Right now, you ought not to be bothering your medic. What should be happening is that you should be building. They're hurt, but your team needs to be building. Like, there's no reason to start peeking and doing all this pointless damage. You do, however, get a kill. I didn't catch where or how, but it did happen. Ideally, you guys would have stopped to buff up a little bit. It's a crits. Okay, so you just went ahead and used the crits, so that's fine. And it looks like you're pretty much gonna just obliterate them. And poor Rogue there dies with 99% Uber. This should be easy. You cap the point straight away. Yeah, so it's a good crits. I mean, you don't really have a role to play in it, so. It's just a little bit of unnecessary peeking. That's mainly early on. That's what a lot of teams' problem is that you just got a ton of people who are always trying to peek doors and taking unnecessary damage. Alright, so we're going up the usual way. Both scouts are up top. Alright, this soldier's yours, yeah. Well, you get hit by an unlucky pipe, but you did what you needed to do. Now, my criticism here is for your team. There they go. They finally get on the med. So that works. No more criticism is necessary. Oh, your roamer's back in. He's the last to die? What a... Or maybe he's just dying again. Yeah, he died. So, since no medic died, you just need to wait. Ideally, what you would do is, if I were you, I would go into lobby and just make sure that nobody's wandering around on 2. Because feasibly, there could be someone out here. It's best just to know. Alright, so you're trying to get up on this wooden thingy. That's the best spot for a scout to be. Both scouts don't need to be there, but a scout does. See, this is unnecessary peeking at this time. All you need to do is stand up on top of that wooden thingy and let it be. You force a fight for no reason, and so did someone else. I guess your pocket dies and you die both at the same time. Ain't no reason to be fighting on the flank. When you're holding 2, you're in a defensive position. Plus you were at uber disadvantage, which you ought to have known about if your med didn't tell you, because he died. Their med died. Well, actually, I think you guys should have been at uber advantage, because I think your med died way before theirs. So, you guys were not building very effectively. They ended up getting uber and surprising you to a degree, but you did not need to push the flank there. You're holding second. That does not mean pushing. The only thing that you do there is just watch it and make sure that they don't come all the way in. And if they do start to come in, then it's the roamer's job to be the one that dies over it, not you. You know, it sounds boring, but that's the class you signed up for. Scout doesn't get to occupy. You tried to occupy a doorway, and there were 2 scouts there, so not gonna make it. Luckily, this team, well, you feed real hard. It's kind of bad on your Pocket's part, because he had to have heard the stickies coming down. But you do end up defending it, so not all is lost. This is going to be kind of hard. So what should happen here is the demo, when you 2 arrive, the demo should push up. Because their spawns are bad, but this team could try to screw around with you. Because it would be better to force your Uber at 2, obviously, than to let you get into mid with it. So it's in their best interest to suicide. Because of their spawn advantage, their suicider will be back before you're done pushing this point. So you're going to go in with the Uber here. Generally, I prefer for the scout to go first, just because most demos won't det for you. So they're way too close and go 3 down. You and this other scout don't need to be capping right now. You are going to deny 2 forward spawns, so that's okay. But you could have just let it half cap, and then the scout that normally doesn't cap could move up. So there's like nobody out here right now. Here we go. Yep. Easy peasy. So they're basically bleeding into you because their spawns were so bad they weren't able to mount an actual proper defense. And I guess they panicked. So they had a guy die out of wave too. That's even better. Yeah, that soldier is your responsibility because he jumped. And that'll get a second round. Alright, so we're chilling here again. You're just waiting for somebody to jump there. That's easy. Oh, you lost your med. This mid no longer matters. You just need to kill their medic. You are not trying to kill their medic. You've tried to save your demo there, and you die. So, it's... Oh, is this a... No, nope. Oh, here we go. There's a guy jumping the med. Can he do it? He had 10 health. Oh, and he kills the demo. Med gets the health pack. Yeah, so you don't need to worry about doing anything. You've already lost the mid. You need to just kill their medic. Because they're going to get Uber now. And if your med dies again, it's like an inexcusable tragedy. Your med dies again. So that should be the end of the round. Yep, so didn't keep track of who had Uber. They're screwing this Uber up real bad right now, though. Well, this is a pretty uneven fight. Yeah. Nope, not the fight to take when you're 3 down. It's better to try and find your way to last. Try and get something set up. But yeah, that was just a real big flub on your team's part. There's no way you should ever be that close when they had Uber. You can't refight mid there. And you can't try to force them because you don't have a spawn advantage since they're going to be holding mid. Now, normally in this situation, I would not suggest engineer because they should be pushing quite rapidly. But you may end up getting this gun to level 3. Because they should push the very second you get this. Or they get it. So they should be Ubering in now. Sounds as if they might be. There they go. But they don't know about the gun yet, apparently. The soldier tries to rocket jump at it. That is a mistake. Their demo's already dead, too. Oh. Well, you didn't really need to approach the scout, but I assume you were trying to change classes, maybe, so... That's fine, I suppose. Well, you should be spawning now. Yeah. Oh. So, well, I mean, I guess you're getting some traction here. Be careful about occupying this doorway. Yep. There was a scout right behind you. Yep, he killed the soldier that was behind you. So, occupying a doorway never works. If there isn't unless there's a whole bunch of people behind you and you can get into the door, it's just not really that good for a scout. Unless you have a good idea what's on the other side, so you just got wrapped there. So that was a good play on their part. Their demo's running around with a sign out. Their med's dead. Yeah, so they're just throwing it all away on this last. You might be able to get here. So here's the door. I don't know why you just avoided that guy, because he should have killed you. Yeah, 2 scouts. A little rough. Your team was slow getting out here, and now you're down pocket, I presume, and scout, so no go. Their roamer is way too aggressive. I mean, pushing in here would have been maybe okay if they if there was like a whole team behind him, but there wasn't, so he just went in and fed for no reason. So again, you do get a kill here. That was maybe okay because Tyler was dead, but no, I mean, really, you don't need to be peeking like that. Like, whoever this soldier is that's up in there, you're okay, I suppose, because they have lost another guy, but you don't need to peek quite so much. Alright, so we're going to run at a soldier in a tiny doorway. He must have not had any rockets left, because he ought to have killed you. Alright, so you've lost your demo now. This is the sad zone. You've popped Uber out here. You should now lose the round. Unless you guys get a ton of kills. Yep. Maybe you'll save it. Oh, they have a scout run right on the point. That was probably not the best decision ever, but they probably didn't know. Oh, well, here's this soldier. Yep. So, if you fight Uber v Uber out there and you don't get 2 or 3 kills, you're gonna lose the round. Guaranteed. Pretty much every time, so that was just a bad idea to push. It's since they were 1 down, it's okay to feed in 1 guy, but as soon as he dies, you're done there. Because you're not going to have enough people to resolve any sort of actual fight. You need to go out with numbers advantage because they come back so fast. Alright, so we're chilling, taking a lot of spam, but you don't. Alright, you need to be aggressive here. Oh, well, you're buffed. Let's be aggressive here. Maybe shooting at the med isn't the best idea right now. So, shooting at the dudes with the guns is usually preferable. And you run into a sticky trap and die. So, we're tunnel visioning really hard on that med there, and we didn't notice the 4 stickies that were attached to the wall that demo had set down throughout the fight. So we're fighting again at mid, but since Rogue died, the Uber pop doesn't really matter. We're chasing real hard, though, which is unnecessary. We should just be capping the point. The only player worth chasing is the medic, and there ain't no medic. So, I mean, he's alive now, but he wasn't there then, so no reason to cap so hard. Alright, so we're chilling. They've actually got Uber advantage because we're not doing a very good job of building here. If you can see with your eyeballs the respective numbers ticking up, yours is ticking up much more slowly. But I assume that you're not going to get punched. See, again, this is an unnecessary peek. Didn't need to go in there. Unless it was a suicide attempt to like off class or whatever, no need to do that. You don't even need to go in that room. You can look to see where they are, but the roamer should be close enough to you to bail you out if you're just going to see what's up. Now you're going to lose your roamer. You're back, however. But they should be pushing now. They have tried to push, and you're trying to flank around behind, and you get killed. So this is now foobar for your team, and you're going to lose mid. And 2 is going to be contested. Or should be. So I don't know what happened with red team, but they backed up real hard. And you're getting kills now, so you're lucking your way through this one as your team. Because red team is screwing this up bad, and they lose their med. So 4 people effectively defeated 6. And there appears to be a pause. So I'm going to fast forward through that to get to the next part. Okay, so they lost their roamer momentarily. And we pause again, so maybe to get him back in. So here we are back again. We're fighting over the point. They have 5 players right now, I think, but he's coming back. And you managed to win the round. But they did only have 5, so I don't have much to say there. But we got a few minutes left, so... So yeah, just a little too much peeking when you don't need to. When you do a push where there's an Uber involved or something like that, you don't need to try to wrap behind. You gotta support your team that's being pushed on by an Uber by being behind them, so they have someone to cover them as they retreat. Alright, so there's this soldier. He's yours. Run at him. I don't know where all your shots were, but that was your moment. Their med appears to lag out, so this team is just having, like, the worst possible time. Oh, you laid some meat down on that guy. There you go. And so there's that. My HUD is broken, mind you, so... But I assume that's like a wipe. It says Rogue's back there, so I don't really know. I didn't pay attention to him. No, this is an unnecessary cap here. You don't really need to go quite so ham on it, because it's putting you all in danger to have you all standing in the same place. It would be better just to have a scout cap. And see, this is wholly unnecessary. There's nothing good is gonna come from peeking that shutter door. So your med needs to pop that Uber a little sooner. I would have you go in first. And you die to a soldier. So med needs to stay with you through the Uber. Ideally. Because you should be the scarier target. You're basically only Ubering the pocket there to get him to where he needs to go. And then you and the demo finish everything. In that sort of an Uber. So you don't even manage to deal with their med, so that was just a botched Uber altogether. If their med was that close and you guys knew, then you should have focused him out real hard. And you die trying to get a force, so does your roamer, I guess. Or your roamer had already died, judging by the spawn timers. So what you did was unnecessary, you cannot die there. Once you lose one player over mid, you do not want to lose any more because you put the next point at risk as well. So your team's gonna lose second. They completely screwed up. There are 2 already on the point. Yep, not gonna be able to do this. You got back spawn. There we go. So you lose 2 because you lost way too many dudes over mid after your roamer had already died. So every death after your roamer was unnecessary. And you're peeking around trying to get a force on the med and you drop him or kill him. So that's decent. Again, not really needed though. because most teams are gonna screw up their last push anyways, and if you just die there, then the chances that they're gonna figure out what to do with a team that's one down is just too high. A suicide earlier is fine, but that was not needed, because if the other team had a reasonable lobby hold, then you would just die, and then they would just be able to push. So we've got our Uber here. Our demo is being put in. Oh my goodness. So that scout really dropped the ball. He was trying to put the demo in the sad zone. Demo didn't even know he was there. And don't need to approach this really. So here you go, trying to hold a door. Are the bad things gonna happen? No, you are not punished. So they must have been pretty low. Oh, stickies everywhere. So yeah, you gotta get in the habit just like the pocket. If you're gonna go through doors, you gotta look for that. We're shooting the med now. That's actually not bad given how close he is to Uber. But now he's got it and y'all are gonna die. Or should die. The soldier's screwing this up pretty bad. There you go. So it's a 2-for-2 trade, and it gives you Uber advantage, but they still have spawn advantage. And you died late in the cycle, but I don't think it's gonna matter. So we're just sitting here. We sat on our Uber way too long, and now they've got Uber, and now this is bad because they should be able to kill all of us. You're going for their med. I guess in this situation it's not bad, and you're gonna die. So is your whole team. And we'll see if they can get, yeah, so that's a whippity wipe, and they should, what they should do, because Ducky and Blakey have such bad spawn times, is see their ×4 stacking. Unnecessary. They needed to have just pushed, leave one scout and push, because now you're gonna have a sentry gun and a heavy. If they had gotten in before that, the sentry gun would be level 1, the NG would probably die with the gun, and the heavy wouldn't be up on his perch there. But they're too slow, so they let you set up. So you're kind of guarding the demo here. Peeking in that doorway is unnecessary for you. You can't do anything. It's only putting you at risk. There was a jumping soldier, but you didn't see it, I guess. We're going for this demo. Stay off the point. Alright, there we go. There are 2 alive. That's a jumping medic. Oh. There we go. Yeah, you don't really need to worry about the point as a scout unless you're a bunch down, which would be like right now. So you should just go straight to the point. That's good. And you're going to chill here, ideally trying to figure out what's going to kill you, or try to. There we go. They let you get it. Now all you need to do is not die. Please team, come and save me. Well, you win the 1v1. Team was being a little slow. Ideally you've got crit seals by now, so you shouldn't need a health pack, yeah. And your team could push, because you're 1 up. But very slow. And again, we don't really need to peek here. We're in a defensive situation. Ain't nothing good gonna come from you putting yourself in a doorway. Alright, so they are going to end your med drops. So you let a scout run right past you and kill the medic. Probably you should give a tisk tisk for that. And not really a good idea. I don't really know what you guys were doing there, because you didn't have Uber advantage, and I mean, maybe you just built real slow and didn't realize it and thought you had Uber advantage for some reason, but you didn't. And then the scout just ran right past you and two-shot your med. So I don't really know why we were in saw room there. It doesn't really make sense to me, because you're the ones on second with the disadvantage. So we lose our med again, and you're gonna cap mid, but you're gonna lose too, unless they like really screw it up. They really screw it up. So we'll see. It's a soldier in a demo versus a soldier in a demo. Can they do it? No, they're not capping fast enough. So this is actually what happens when a team hangs out at mid too long, and they lose a guy for it. All right, you know they're in saw room because I heard them. All right, there they are. Demo sad zone. There you go. And you get a bunch of kills, so it's time to go. You hear them building, unless that's you. It doesn't appear to be. And you're going to get your spawns. So, this would be a good candidate for pushing in, because they are not yet set up. But you want to all go the same way. Nope, we are not going to do it. So we're just going to try to wait on Uber. Hopefully we don't believe that we have Uber advantage. Yeah, so you guys lost a 10-second advantage because you built way too slow. And let's see, because 10 seconds is pretty good, let me tell you. That's like 20%. So you lost a 20% advantage because y'all were building too slow, and now we're forced to suicide. So you trade soldier for soldier. That means you could trade again. You could suicide another guy feasibly and be relatively okay. Again, peeking this door, ain't nothing good ever gonna come from that. The demo should die and kill you. And you lose another scout, so hopefully that was like your additional suicide. Your med's down here by himself to a degree. You gotta form a bubble around him. There isn't too much of a bubble. He's always at the back end of the bubble, the part that's gonna get popped. Alright, so we got this Uber here, so it's gonna be solo time for the pocket. See what he does. So you're gonna walk in the long way, they pop, you go in with it. Luckily you're unharassed, and they pop. Okay. So here we are trying to avoid the Ubered people. The Ubered people are looking at you, and you die. Team? I guess, you know, some of our team never really went in, but I guess it's a demo, so. But yeah, I mean, so for that kind of a push, the onus for that should pretty much be on your pocket. And he's just got, in that situation, he's just got to go in and try to get the force. And then you guys all want to stand somewhere kind of out of the way. Sad zone the demo? No? You just avoid him. So the problem is, well, okay, so you're going for a back cap. Okay, okay. That's fine. You're trying to back cap, it's not going to work. And now you've got to go do the things. So actually they wipe, and they're still backcapping you. This might be a little close. Okay, good, good, good. You didn't need to stack it, but so what should have happened there, because you know there was a guy behind you who you just took care of. All right, getting kills here is a good idea. Didn't need to pop Uber, but it's okay. He wanted the stats. But yeah, so You going for the back cap there was fine because you had lost your demo, so the situation was hopeless, as we say in the business. And so trying to just go for that with the round so close is all right. It's not necessarily the best decision, but given where you were when it happened, you didn't really have any other choice. So now we're just in screw around time, so I'm going to do my pontification. So, I mean, mainly, like a lot of new scout players, you just peek unnecessarily a lot. That I would discourage you from doing that. When you go forward, or if you're trying to get kills or do damage, the only time you should do that is if you have a buff. If you ain't got a buff, you're gonna sit there and not do anything. That's pretty much the science of it. And you shouldn't be getting a buff for some periods of time, basically whenever your medic's trying to build. So if your med's trying to build, it's not really time to go get a buff unless you're really hurt. And then it works to save your pocket rockets that you come over and take a little bit of heals. But if he's building, you don't need to go get a buff, and you don't need to try to push anybody. If they want to peek the doorway, good for them. That's the roamer's job to bounce them, and then you and the other scout should jump on them and kill them if you can. But you don't need to risk anything, you don't need to go that hard. Particularly when you're in a defensive situation. If you're in an offensive situation like mid, you can afford to be a little more aggressive, but you never want to go into a doorway or an area of the map by yourself. So don't do that. There were a lot of times where you would get baited by trying to attack one player, and the other player would be somewhere very close, and they would just run at you. And that's really good behavior from their flank when they did that a few times. But it killed you a lot, and it's not because they're necessarily way better than you. It's because you fell into a trap because you're doing a stupid thing. so don't fall into the stupid thing trap. And if you're gonna try to push, you need to have everybody, like flank players, with you. You need to have a roamer or the other scout at least with you. And ideally you'll be healed, although I know that's not always possible. And sometimes opportunities do present themselves. Peeking shutter doors is always a bad idea. Never ever do it, unless you have a good idea of what's on the other side. You don't need to shoot at the med unless he has advantage. Like, you can pretty much just completely ignore him. Because medics only heal 24 health a second, and ideally any player is going to take more than 24 health a second. Like one rocket, even a badly placed rocket, will do almost double that. So there's that, and yeah, so I mean, and mainly in that demo, the majority of the problems for your team were you just building way too slow. And you lost track of advantages a few times. And there were some way unnecessary deaths. But if you don't hold mid or all or 4 of the 5 points, then you don't need to be aggressive. It's on them to do stuff. You can just passively watch, sing a song in your head, listen to the combo, talk about comms, but it's detrimental if you try to go do stuff and die. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed, found my rambling commentary a little bit helpful, and you enjoyed.